Yeah, let me let people know I'm here.
Yeah, we're still figuring out the technology for the vodcast. We finally figured out how for me not to have an echo in my
Could you hear
headphones.
me?
Yeah, I could hear you just fine.
You
What
were
it
like in
is
slow motion. It was so weird.
what it is when you're joining the call, there are certain options you have to pick. And if you don't pick the right options, you can't hear me. And so I don't know what the slow motion thing was, but the why you couldn't hear me, that's what that was. So I don't know. But we're still figuring all of that out. So we're like, okay, well, we're doing this one on TikTok today. That's okay.
The standby. It's
Listen,
okay. Exactly.
we roll with the punches
Yes,
around
ma'am.
here. That's
Yes, ma'am.
that is what we do. But that's all right. That's all right. We can do this.
Absolutely.
We can do this.
It's a pleasure to see your gorgeous face. I haven't seen you in like forever.
I know. Things have been crazy. And I am using this tiny, listen, the tech things have been real. I'm using this tiny Bluetooth keyboard right now because my keyboard also decided to go on the fritz today. So I'm using...
At least you had a backup, so there is that.
Yeah, I'm using a... Hi, Mama Hen. I'm using my tablet keyboard. I had 3 different mice. I have one for my tablet, one for my laptop, and one for my desktop. Only one of them is working. So it's doing a whole lot of work these days. We're just having some trouble. Anyway, enough about me. That's not why we're here today. We're here for our lovely friend, Jeanette. So, let me get my notes up.
It's weird for me to be on this side, so you know. Like
I know it is. I know it is. And here's the thing, Jeanette. I am not the typical interviewer. So, lucky for you, you get the Tarta interview.
I'm cool with that.
The Tarta interview is fun, okay? The Tarta interview is a whole lot of not professional and...
Who was professional interviews? Right?
Hold on, I'm pulling up all my stuff because we were too focused on that. I didn't get anything pulled up. She's like, I know you didn't. I know. If I showed up on here as organized and ready to go, you guys would be like, what? Who took Tarta? You guys know it.
Well,
You'd be so...
that's how I feel. If I was on TikTok live, whether it's mine or somebody else's, and something did not go wrong, I would be like, okay, what's going on here? So it's okay.
I can't even
Miss
find it
Hodor,
now.
Cindy, Roberts, everybody.
That ain't it. Where'd it go? Where's my this or that stuff? It disappeared on me.
No, there is something about like the planets aligning for the first time in like thousands of years, and also who knows? It could be messing with the technology.
It could be, and it might have deleted my this or that stuff.
We'll wing it. It's all right.
Oh no, here it is. Found it. Found it. Okay. I found it. Okay. Here we are. Welcome back. We got a whole bunch of people in here. Ooh, we got TLs in here. Got Mom Hen, we got Robert, we got Jen. Ooh, look at all these people. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tartahasquestions. You know I have questions. I have questions. Anyway, so we have Jeanette T. Queen, the fabulous Jeanette T. Queen. She's normally asking the questions. Today, it's my turn.
Now I'm in the hot seat.
Yes, she's in the hot seat today. She is the author of The Last Pendragon, okay, which is a fantasy novel. Now, I made the mini books for it. It's a fabulous, beautiful book. I haven't read it yet.
I still have one. I still have some of that backwards.
You have to keep at least one for yourself.
Absolutely.
No,
I'll
I
just get
haven't
more.
read it yet, but it's gorgeous. The cover is simply gorgeous. I am a sucker for bright colors. Anything that's bright and catches my eye, I'm like, ooh, let me see that. But when I was looking at it, I noticed that you have it geared towards 17 to 18-year-olds. So, obviously can't be like spicy.
Well, it isn't yet. This book, there's no spice in this book. I'm not opposed to being
She
spiced.
said yet.
That's not where the story has led me. And I did just finish draft 1 of book 2. And there's no spice in book 2, but there are adult themes discussed. And there is the F-bomb throughout, so that's why. Yes,
Side
Sarah,
note.
you can interview me too if you'd like.
Tara, if you would like, we can join forces. You can join the TARTAVodcast as my partner. We
The two Taras,
take
that's
over
a scary, amazing
the
thought,
world.
though. Yes, you would.
Anyway, sorry, I got distracted because
I understand.
could you imagine?
No, I'm scared. The thought of it, like it's brilliant and scary all at the same time.
Could you imagine? Okay, so give us a brief. Well, it doesn't. Okay, take out the word brief. Give us a synopsis of The Last Pendragon. Tell us what it's about.
Basically, it's a modern Arthurian tale, and when I say Arthurian, my spin on the Arthurian tale, I take what I like from the legend and make it more modern. Basically, my elevator pitch is it's a classic good versus evil tale where we follow a young woman who is thrown into a war that's been raging for thousands of years. Excalibur, the magical sword that was King Arthur's, has chosen her to save the realm, save the world, except she has no idea what she's doing because she didn't even know that the paranormal existed. And this book's got, it's Arthurian, but we also have vampires and we have shifters and we have dragons and we've got a little bit of dragons. We got some biblicalness. We got it all.
I like me a good paranormal. And I like me a trope flip. I like me a good trope flip. If I can do some female bikers, you can do you a female Arthur. Okay?
Well, that's what I said. I was like, it's always, even in the retellings, it's usually a man that gets the sword, whether he's a descendant of whoever. No. I was like, no, and she's not I don't want to give too many spoilers. She's not a direct descendant of Arthur, but she is more like a niece adjacent type character. Mm-hmm. So it's not like directly from him.
Right. But, she can have her due. Why can't she have her due?
Exactly.
So we get your your inspiration there, though, because obviously Arthur is your inspiration. However, also your inspiration is female empowerment.
Yes.
Because you're a female, obviously, and we all want to uplift and empower the females around us and the females to come. So I get where you're coming from that point, because like I said, if I can do some female bikers and show the world that not only the men can have fun, we can have fun too.
Right. Exactly.
We can kick butt too, guys. So I get that part. But what else inspired you to write this book? Is there anything else that inspired you?
Love fantasy. Yes, I love the Arthurian legend, but I love fantasy. I love vampires. I love shifters. I love magic. And I wanted to combine them together and make it a book that I would want to read.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What was your favorite part about writing it?
When I was able to write the end. Now, this book was such it is my very first book, and I did start it a long time ago, but I had so many twists and turns, as an author, learning what it's like to have the characters in your head. Like, one of my main characters was not even supposed to be a part of the book. It was never supposed to be a love triangle. It was never supposed to be a series. It was supposed to be a one and done. And then a dream happened, and Riker came to me in a dream and messed the whole thing up. So
We love it when our characters just appear. Sometimes they just appear and they take over and they change everything we planned. Other
Taylor
times,
Merlin will be in it. He's mentioned in book 1 and 2, and I think 3 is going to be where they finally find him. So just so you know, he is mentioned and he's a part of it.
and other times you have a plan for them and they go, nah. And you're like, but, and they're like, nah.
Oh, they went
And there's
crazy
nothing
in book 2, driving me nuts.
nothing you can do about it because they absolutely refuse to cooperate.
Yep.
So
And you
sometimes the
authors
characters
don't tell us
do what
newbies
they-
that. You
what
don't
they do.
warn us.
Sometimes you guys just don't listen because you're like, I didn't want him to do that. And we're like, neither did I.
Exactly.
Sometimes the characters be charactering.
Yes.
They have a mind of their own. We are not in control.
Not
okay.
at all. Not at all.
We take incident reports. That's what we do. We take incident reports. We are just here to detail what happened. That's what we're doing.
Sorry, I took a drink and it went down the wrong pipe.
They tell us what happened. We detail it.
And I'm a pantser through and through. Like, I don't even try to plot because it's pointless.
Yeah, why? They're just going to change it. They're going to
Exactly.
change it. And then you're going to be like, all that work I did. Yeah, it's no point.
I fought book 2. Like, they were, I got writer's block for 2 months because I was fighting where they were going. And I was like, my readers are not going to be happy with this. Why are we doing this? Finally, I just let it go. And then last week, something happened and I was like, oh, that's where you're going with that. Okay.
Well, I have a few tricks of writer's block that I have gathered from other people throughout the years. One is to try to write something that you know they would absolutely never do.
I like that.
Because then usually they're like, I would never do that. And they start talking because they get angry with you. Like, if you know you have a character that would never dance or sing, write a scene of them dancing and singing. They'll start talking to you because they're like, wait a minute, you are not going to make me do that. You know what I mean? Or like, if you have a character that would never be rude to a woman, write a scene of him being rude to a woman. He's going to start talking to you because he's not going to be okay with that. That kind of stuff. Or it's okay to skip a scene, and this is the hardest one for me because I'm a very lateral writer.
Same.
But it's okay to skip a scene and come back to it.
My OCD brain, though, is like, no.
Me too. I'm the same way. And this was the hardest one for me to learn, that it is okay to skip that scene and come back to it. So it was so hard for me to learn that because I'm like, no, I have to go in order. That was very hard for me to do. But the first time I did it, though, my brain went, no, we have to go back. In the second I started to type out the next scene, the character started talking and I could go back.
There you go. I love it. I'm writing this down. Like, I'm taking notes.
So just some tricks. Yeah, your brain won't let you move on, but it might kick start something to get that scene moving.
Get those sneaky characters in play. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Right now in the book, one of my whips, I decided this character, well, it's about Kim Lefevre. I don't even know if she's in here, and if she is, I blame her. It's a character based on her. The character is a brat. Every time I have a scene in her POV, she just does this and stares at me like, well, what am I doing? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Every single time. It's like instant writer's block. And I'm like, can you quit bratty for 5 seconds?
We'd like to get this book done.
And she's like, no, I'm a brat. What do you mean? And can I stop bratting? I'm a brat. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So those are some tricks of the trade. Anyway, so one of my questions was, is this a standalone or a series? And you've already answered that. So it's going to be a series. How many books do you think? Is it going to be 3, or do you think it's going to be more than that?
It might be 4. I wouldn't want to go more than 4. But I didn't want to do more than 1. So, we'll see. But no, I think it will probably be 4.
See, I'm one of those people that as I write, I'm opening doors left and right so that I can always have a path.
There's already spin-offs, though. Like, I have a Hot Santa is what my readers call him, Hot Santa. Santa Claus is in my book. He's a former Knight of the Round Table. It makes sense. You just got to read it. Trust me. You got to read it. But he was, and it was funny because I was going to take him out of the book originally because I was like, people are not going to get this. But I kept him in, and he has become a fan favorite. So now he is getting his own little novella. Him and Mrs. Claus are getting their own novella this year. I'm hoping to have it by Christmas. So
a path to go back. I have paths to side projects all over the place in my books all the time. I can't help myself. I do it all the time. So I always have some type of place to go.
So when I say 4, I mean 4 in the main story, main series, and then there's going to possibly be some offshoots.
Which is smart because you get those. You get. It also gives you an opportunity to do short stories for even just like newsletters or giveaways or whatever. So, and mine too. My characters are always like, but what about me? And then I get readers that are like, well, can you tell so-and-so's story? Tell us how they met. And I'm like, I would like to tell you, but I have no idea. And then they're like, really? But you act like you know exactly how they met. And I'm like, thanks. But I don't.
That's our best we try.
So what is the hardest part about world building? Because I know in fantasy, if you can't build a world, your book's going to fall apart. So what is the hardest part about world building for you?
Remembering what she's wearing and where she got it. Having her change her clothes, or like I had there's this one scene in book that I wrote in book 2 where she is traveling by horse and she's going to another location, and I'm like, well, crap, she's got to shower at some point. So I'm like, oh, wait, this is fantasy. So I came up with the fact that she has house fae who did a magical shower in her tent. But it's like remembering the little details like that.
Yeah.
Like the world building is fine. I'm taken from Arthurian and I'm taken from Supernatural, things that we're familiar with. But it's the little itty bitty things that that readers are going to notice. Like, well, did she sleep? Did she shower? Did she like have a restroom break? Things like that.
Right.
Did she eat?
Ma'am, she hasn't eaten in 14 days. Yeah.
Exactly. And they'll be like, wait a minute. So it's the little things like that.
Yeah. And sometimes we forget those things because we're so focused on the plot of the story that the things that keep them alive, we forget about sometimes.
Yes.
Like dinner.
The magical systems, yes.
Tara, I have what I call my Bibles. Because I have 3 different motorcycle clubs. So I have so many characters. I have my Bibles. I will show you. Hold on. Let me grab one. Where'd they go? Here we go. I have my Bibles. See? Where I have character profiles in here that has.
He's talking about not being organized. That's impressive. I have spiral notebooks for each book.
These aren't all filled out yet because I'm still putting some of them together, but has all the basic information. So I can just, if I forget the basic information, I can snatch it up.
Oh, hold on.
Because that basic information, hair color, eye color, what their mama's name is, what their kids' names are.
It's so easy to forget.
It'll get me every time. Who's related to who because they're all so close. Yeah, it'll get me every time. And I used to have a wiki. I don't have a wiki anymore. But yes. Yeah. So I get you. But Bibles. I have a map in there. I have a seating chart for their club, where they all sit at the table, where they all ride when they go on trips, because motorcycle clubs have riding order.
Oh, yeah.
So I have all of that. It's all in there. So it's important. Someday, when I put out my insider's guide, you guys will have all that information because I'm going to put it in it.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, so do you have a map for your world?
I do. It's in the front of the book. Well, it's not really of the world. It's of Avalon.
It's one of my favorite things about fantasy is their maps. Ooh. I love fantasy maps.
You have to have them. Like, you have to have a map.
Yeah, I just love them. And so when you were writing this book, the first book, is there any scene that you just wanted to scream as you were writing it for whatever reason?
The last one.
The last
big battle scene, because it ends on a cliffhanger. It actually ends on a double cliffhanger.
A plot pause?
I know, yes. But that last scene, it was a battle scene. It was like where everything came to a head, and I I just felt like it took forever to get it how I wanted it to be.
Yeah, those ones can be tough. Action scenes can be very, very tough because they're so detail oriented, but you don't have a whole lot of time to really.
And by the time you get to the end of the book, you're almost like done with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but me, I
No,
was just
I get
like,
it.
I'm so ready to be done with this book.
And it's hard to keep the pacing because you're like, oh my God, but you got to keep the pacing just right. Otherwise your characters or your readers are like, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. What the heck? So no, I get you. And listen, what readers sometimes, I'm curious to know if you experience this, because going from a reader to an author, I think sometimes people are surprised by this. You can get tired of your own book.
Yeah.
You read your own book so many times by the time you publish it that you are sick of it. Like,
Yes, ma'am.
you need a break from it before you market it, because the last thing you want to do is talk about the book, because you don't want to think about it. You don't want to hear the name of the characters. You don't want to see their faces. You don't want to talk about them because you have already read this book 12 million times. You've seen every word of it 12 million times. You could recite it in your sleep. You don't want to hear about the book. So the last thing you want to do is get excited or get anybody else excited about the book because you don't have it in you anymore. And readers are like, why would I want to read your book if you don't? No, it's just that when you read a book 75 times, you start to question whether or not this book is any good.
Yes. That's what imposter syndrome does kick in. Or what's better is when you know that you had a scene in the book and you took it out and you don't remember you took it out and people are asking questions and you're like,
Yes.
oh wait, that's in there.
No, that was
and then
in,
I'm like,
that
oh
was in
no,
draft
it's not.
443, and you forgot
Yes.
that you took it out. Yes. Oh, my
Yes.
favorite thing is when readers point out, I seen what you did there. That was incredible planning, that you did this, and this. You planned it out. I seen what you did there, but you didn't tell anybody you did that. And you're like, yeah, that was incredible planning on my part.
Totally planned. 100% planned.
And you have no idea what they're talking about because you didn't plan anything. It was just a coincidence.
Pants are here 100%.
But you're going to take credit for that because you're not going to tell them it was an accident. But you love that they think that you were a genius enough to do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, we love our readers, and of course we want them to be excited about our books, and we're incredibly proud of our books. But at the same time, we put our souls into them, and it can be incredibly draining. Hi, JC. It can be incredibly draining. And there is such a thing as depression at the end of the process for us. And it's just because we're drained. It's just because we're completely drained. So, going from a reader to an author, was that a shock to you to experience all of that and be like, oh my gosh, I totally see.
100%. Like how, as a reader, you can gobble a book up in days. And as a writer, it takes days to get a chapter out sometimes. So, yes.
Yeah. In you can write 30 words one day, or you can write 3,000 the next. And it takes the same effort sometimes.
Big time.
And those 30 words could be more important than that 3,000. And
I
that's
do have to
just,
give a shout out to both Miss Tara Hodel and Miss Brooklyn Cross because they really helped me, whether they realize it or not, helped me get book 2 finished because I was struggling to write. And they were so nice. They invited me into their little writing group. And I can't join it every day, but I see where it pops up on my screen where they're getting together to write. I'm like, crap, I need to get me some words in today. So they really helped me get through that book.
yes. And that's the other thing. For me, my advice to new authors, thank you. My advice to new authors is, I have 2 bits of advice that I always give to new authors. 1, take every bit of advice with a grain of salt. But my other bit of advice is to find your crew of people who are also in the industry, who know what you're going through, who will tell you the truth 100%, won't just tell you what you want to hear, but truly support you and will hype you up in real life, in your career, but also hold you accountable. Will be like, you had a goal today.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do it? No. Okay, what stopped you? All right, well, tomorrow, we're not going to let that stop us, right? They aren't going to beat you down for not achieving your goal, but they're going to help you try to get past that obstacle.
Like I said, just seeing them write every day was the motivation I needed to write every day, even though I couldn't always join their little group.
Right, because we all know that you're going to have those days where you're just not going to meet those goals.
I was at the end of the book, and it was just like, oh my God, I was at that point where I was like, I'm just so done with this one now.
Mm-hmm. So now that you have your first book under your belt and you're working on the next one, what bit of advice would you give to somebody who was in your shoes when you were just starting out?
Well, I had a bunch of little detours in my process to finally get the book done. But, and it's because I asked this question too to authors, and I think it's true. You just got to stick with it. It's not going to publish itself. It's not, you have, even if nobody else reads your book or reads your story or whatever, but it's in your head, just get it out. Get it out on paper, even if it's just for yourself.
Yep. Do it for you.
Yes.
Yep. Do it for you. Because every book has its reader. Every book has its reader. But you can't find your reader if you don't put it out there. So now, have you always, excuse me, dry spot in my throat. Have you always wanted to be an author? Have you always had like a dream? No. I know, right? I know that's what you don't do as like your everyday career, but what did you always want to be then?
I've gone through several lifetimes and different careers in my life. But growing up, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be on Broadway. I was a theater kid.
Oh, I could so see that.
I did the voice lessons and did all those things.
I could so see that for sure. Mm-hmm.
So writing, I've always been a reader, but I hated writing in school. So being an author never even was on my radar till, well, I did start The Last Pendragon in my early 20s. The idea came to me, and I think I wrote maybe 3 or 4 chapters, and then I was like, yeah, I hate writing. I'm not doing this. It took me another 2 years before I started it again.
Wasn't the time. You weren't ready.
No.
That's okay. You know, we all go through things in our lives. Like you have phases, right? Where like you have the phase in your life where you're ready to go out and explore and do things. And then you hit that phase in your life where you're like, I just don't want to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. I just want to be home. And maybe that's what it was. You were like, I have a story in my head. It's a good story. I just don't want to write it down. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still there.
And it's
I'll do it
completely
later.
different. Like it's completely different. Elizabeth, actually, I think her name was Alexa back then. Like, even the name has changed, but the concept was the same. And it was funny because my aunt is my ride or die. She has read every chapter I wrote of The Last Pendragon, starting with the first 3 or 4 20 years ago. And she still had them in her filing cabinet. She's like, do I need these anymore? I'm like, no, you can throw them away.
Now, do you think you will always write fantasy, or do you think you will try other genres?
I do have kind of a contemporary romance series in my head. I've already started my little notebooks on it, loosely based on my childhood friends, because I grew up in like a small town, and my backyard was literally a park where all the neighborhood kids convened. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do it based around the park, but that got put off to the burner because another idea has popped into my head. I am book 2 of the Last Pendragon series, called Rise of the Pendragon. Draft 1 of that is done, and it's being sent to my editor this week. And now I'm working on a fantasy mafia story that popped into my head. So, and it won't shut up.
Well, of course, they never do when. Now, what genre will you never write?
Horror.
Yeah,
I have a very vivid, no offense against horror writers. I love you all. You know, I have mad respect, but I have a very vivid mind where I picture everything.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. No,
I would scare myself.
Haunt me. Yes.
I will scare myself. Here's the thing.
Same.
I can't watch scary movies. And it's not because I'm scared while I'm watching them. I'm never scared when I'm watching them. What it is I scare myself later in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, I can't walk through the house when it's dark. Because I will freak myself out thinking somebody's walking behind me. I'll do it every time. I watched Candyman when I was a little kid. I still can't go into the bathroom when the light's off and walk past the mirror. I can't do it. The light has to be on. I cannot. I can't.
I understand that because I too watched that movie as a kid, and I completely understand that. And I am
you know where I'm coming from.
Yes.
I can't. If the power goes out, I will hold it or go to the gas station. And they're like, just take like the flashlight. No, I will not. No, you can't. I am not doing that because I know the second I walk past that mirror, he's going to show up in the mirror. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. If the lights are off and all of a sudden I start seeing bees, if I start seeing bees, you're out your mind. You're out your mind. No, I'm gone.
See, my thing isn't that. It's as a kid, y'all did like the Bloody Mary thing. That's what I think about in the mirror at night. I'm like, no, thank you, ma'am. Not today.
When I was five, I have 3 brothers. Okay, 1 older than me, 2 younger than me, but one of the ones that's younger than me is not that much younger than me. So when I was 5, why my dad thought it was okay to let us watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I don't know, but he did. My dad owned a house that was 2 apartments. It was 1 upstairs apartment, 1 downstairs apartment, and it had like an inside staircase to get to the upstairs apartment. So it was nighttime and we were watching the movie, and my brother said he was going to go upstairs to get something. I can't remember what he was going upstairs to get, and it took him forever to get it. So my little brother was like, will you go check on Scott? I can't hear him. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go check on him. And I should have known it was a setup. but I didn't. But I didn't know. So I go to walk up the stairs. All of a sudden, the lights go out. Okay, freaks me out, right? I'm halfway up the stairs, the lights go out. Then all of a sudden, they come back on. My brother's at the top of the stairs yelling. My other brother's at the bottom of the stairs yelling. Scares the crap out of me, right? Ever since then, can't do scary movies. I freak myself out in the dark every time.
The movie that did it for me was freaking Chucky. And then my sister is 6 years younger than me. I remember seeing Chucky as like a kid. And again, the same thing. I was home with my father and I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Let me watch Chucky. And then my sister comes along and she has a freaking doll that the eyes open and close and talk. And I'm like, oh, hell no. No.
I can't. Okay, listen. I just told you guys what my brothers did to me. Now let me tell you what I did to my cousin. Because we had a Gizmo doll. We had a Gizmo doll and we had a Gremlin doll. You're going to know where this is going as soon as I tell you this next bit. And my cousin used to drool. And he used to sleep with his Gizmo doll.
Oh.
So.
You're not supposed to get him what?
I switched out his Gizmo doll. With the Gremlin. I
would have died.
And then told him in the morning that he drooled too much.
That's horrible. It's funny.
But now he's a 6'4" Marine, and I probably shouldn't have teased him so much when he was
True.
Anyway, we went on a tangent, didn't we?
Big time tangent, but it's okay.
That's okay. That's part of Tartatime. Okay. Okay, so no horror.
I will not watch anything called Hell House Terror. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah, no. No. Mm-mm. We'll leave that to you guys.
Yes.
No horror from either one of us. Mm-mm. See, my characters are just smexy. It's the only kind of paranormal you're going to get from me. Smexiness. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you some fun questions. If you were a dessert, what dessert would you be?
Creme brulee, baby. All the way. Prickly on the on top and all gooey on the inside.
What's your favorite midnight snack?
I am not really a midnight snacker, but if I had to pick something, it would probably be mint chocolate chip ice cream.
If you could turn into an animal, what animal would you choose?
A house cat. A lazy ass house cat.
My daughter sent me a picture today of her cat. She had it in a baby carrier on her chest. She bought the baby carrier from the secondhand store. Her cat is living his best life.
If Garfield was real, it would be me. I'm just saying. I would want to be Garfield.
Her cat is her emotional support cat, but I am pretty sure she's some emotional support human. I'm 100% with this. What fictional character do you most identify with out of your book, and why?
My main character, Elizabeth, is based on me a lot when I was younger. And how my reactions would be if I was put in that situation that she's put into. Down to her coffee addiction.
Duh. You're a new crayon to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Definitely a shade of red of some kinds. They already have fiery red. Leo red? I don't know.
Okay. You've been given an elephant. You can give it away or you can sell it. What would you do?
I would give it away. I'd make sure it find a good home. My daughter would let me. Then my daughter would try to keep it.
You can't keep it. You gotta give it away or sell it.
I would give it away to a good home because I wouldn't want to profit off of an animal.
If you had a time machine, what historical event would you want to see and why?
See, that's a tough one because I'm a history buff. I love history. I would want to go back and not stay because the conditions and how they treated women sucked, but I would want to go meet Elizabeth the First back in that time frame.
Yeah, that'd be a good time frame. Not to stay, you're right.
Not to stay, no.
See, because I wouldn't make it. I would be burned.
Either. They didn't have indoor plumbing. I mean,
I would be burned. I would be wicked.
It wouldn't happen, no. But it'd be cool to see. It'd be nice to visit.
What 5 books would you bring to a deserted island?
Oh my God. How can you even narrow it down to 5 books? That's not even
I know.
fair.
It's the most evil question I will ask you.
See, and I'm not one that rereads books, so it would have to be books that I've had that I haven't read yet. Which is, I have a lot of them. Well, let's see. Just here, I have several books that people have sent to me that I need to read. So, let's see. I have the first 2 books of my friend Will Gray, his series he sent me to read.
Well, there you go. There's 2.
So that's 2. This is the second in the sequel. Rebecca's not here, right? I haven't read it yet. Rebecca F. Kinney.
She said she's not here, right?
I was like, she's not here. Sometimes she comes and visits my life. So. And then, let's see. These were given to me. I don't even know where I got them, but I know I didn't buy them. Suddenly Fallen by Lauren Brown. I don't know. I haven't read it. I think someone sent that to me. And then Morbidly Yours, I do want to read. Again, this was given to me, but it looks...
Is it like a zombie?
No, I think it's like a mortuary. Like the guy, they work in a mortuary.
At a mortuary?
Yeah, so that's 5. There we go. These are 5 that I haven't read yet. They're over here to be read. Because I don't like to, it's a lot for me to reread a book, and that's because there's so many out there.
Yeah. I have certain people that I will reread, but it takes a lot to get me to that point. But there are certain people that I will reread, like J.R. Ward. I could reread the Black Dagger Brotherhood series every year and be just fine with it.
Now, Tara Hodel had her book that I'm waiting on from her Daffodil series, and that would be going with me, absolutely. She knows.
You hear that? You better get on it. If you found out your spouse was a paranormal being, which would you prefer? A vampire, shifter, fae, or a witch or warlock?
I'm a vampire girl. I love me vampires. I would leave him for a vampire. Who are you talking to?
Vampires are winning this one, I'm telling you. They are winning this one.
My second choice would be a dragon shifter, but my first would be
dragon.
Would be a vampire.
Yeah. Okay. Now you get the bookish this or that, or the spicy this or that.
Either way, bring it on. I don't care. Surprise me.
Well, I think I did spicy last time. We'll do bookish this time. I did spicy last time. Okay. Eat ice cream with ketchup. Some of them are bookish. Some of them are just iffy. Eat ice cream with ketchup or a banana with ketchup.
Those are my only options.
Those are your 2 options. This or that.
They both sound incredibly gross.
This or that.
I think maybe the if it was vanilla ice cream,
Okay.
I guess the ice cream and ketchup.
You already answered this one. Vampire shifter. You already said vampire.
Yes.
Morally gray or cinnamon roll?
Oh, morally gray every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Alpha male or brat tamer?
I have to go with the alpha.
Retelling or trope flip? Ooh, that's a good one for you, considering your book.
I like a good trope flip. I mean, I like retellings too, but if I definitely would be the trope flip.
Trope flip. That's me too. Flip that trope.
Yes.
Okay. Morally gray hero or the villain?
Oh, villain. Unless it's one of Terre Haut's or Brooklyn Crawl, one of those dark romance people's villains, no. But more villains, yes.
She's like, I'm not
Let
that
me just
one.
clarify.
Okay. First person or third person?
I like them both. I am the last Pendragon is more third person from her perspective, but I'm attempting my new book that I just started is first person POV. So I don't know yet. I can't answer that because I haven't done it. But now, are you asking as a reader? I do either one. I don't care.
Paperback or ebook?
So that's a tough one too. I used to be all about my paperbacks, and then I had kids, and I found that it's hard to hold a paperback and a baby. So I do read more in my Kindle, but what I do is I read my Kindle, and if I love it,
You
I
like
get my
shelf trophies?
signed. Yes.
You like trophies? Yes.
I love my trophies.
More excited about starting a whip or finishing a whip?
Actually, that's a tough one because literally this week I've done both. And I was equally excited, but for different reasons. So
Exactly. That's a hard one, isn't it?
that
Because
is a very hard
when
one.
you finish that book, you're just
You're
as
like,
excited. Yeah, it's hard.
I would say
Do you
maybe
use-
though, starting the new one, just because I'm actually starting a completely different series. Like I'm stepping out of the last Pendragon, I'm taking a break and starting something new.
Something new. Bookmark or random item?
I used to be random item, and now people like send me bookmarks all
have
the
enough
time.
bookmarks
So I have them everywhere.
To literally paper your walls with them?
Pretty much, yes. I used to be a
Yeah.
sticky girl. I just grab a sticky, a friggin' bill. I didn't even care.
Yeah.
Now I got bookmarks everywhere.
When you're reading, is it plot or spice?
Oh, I prefer plot. I mean, I like spice, but I
Plot.
like my spice to make sense. It has,
Yeah, it's got to have plot.
To go with the plot, yes.
FMC or MMC?
It depends on the book.
Depends on the book.
And it depends on the character. I mean, because that's hard to answer without like a specific book. It could go either way.
Listen, sometimes some of these are that just depends. Plot or character?
I would say probably character, because if you don't have good characters, your plot doesn't matter.
Plot doesn't matter. Yep. Action or drama?
That's a tough one too. I like a little bit of both, but probably more little drama,
Drama.
Only in my books, not in my real life. Let me just say.
Comedy or serious?
For books, comedy. Who am I kidding? I don't want that one. I like there, even with my serious books, I like there to be
I love a good pun, man. Give me a good
pun or the banter or something.
Read in bed or on the couch?
Bed.
Bed?
Yes.
Read in silence or with music?
Oh, silence.
Ooh. Plot or wing it. You said you wing it most of the time,
Oh,
right?
I wing it. I am a pantser through and through. I try to plot and it doesn't. They're like, haha, nice try.
Word or Google?
I'm a word girl.
Word girl.
Mm-hmm.
Cake or pie?
Pie, probably.
I knew you were going to be a southern pie-loving girl.
Yeah, give me a good pie any day of the week. My aunt, God love her, it's a black raspberry blueberry pie. It is the best pie in the world. And I would eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Did you say autumn or fall?
Aren't autumn and fall the same thing?
Yes,
I call
you
it fall.
say autumn or fall.
I say fall.
Burgers or hot dogs?
I do like a good hot dog.
Don't mind the Alabama that just came out of my mouth.
I like them both, but, because every now and then you just want a nice big juicy burger. But I'm a hot dog girl. I like a hot dog.
I am a Michigander, but I spent one summer when I was 9 in Alabama. One summer. So every once in a while, you'll hear Alabama come out of my mouth.
Okay.
It just comes out randomly. Fries or chips?
French fries.
Fries? Me too. I like some fries. Okay. Robust verbiage or fun read?
Fun.
Fun? Me too. If it makes me think too hard, I'm like, why am I reading this?
Yeah, exactly.
Henry Cavill or Jason Momoa?
Henry, Superman.
See, I'm on the opposite team, girl.
I have loved him since The Tudors, so it's been a long time.
I just think I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me. Suit or uniform?
Ooh. It depends on the uniform. If we're talking military uniform, like military dress blues, yes, please. If we're talking like McDonald's, no, thank you. So you gotta be specific.
See, you gotta keep in mind, my first husband, I was with him for 13 years. He was a mechanic. My current husband, been with him for 10 and a half years. He's a mechanic. If that says anything.
A man cleans up, though. It does.
Mine
doesn't wear military uniform
suits.
or a suit. So, it's shorts and a t-shirt 24/7, 365 days a year.
I think I do have a type. I have a type. Yeah. You know what I also have? You know what I also have? Freedom from car bills.
That would be amazing.
I don't have any car repair bills. Ever. Never, ever.
I can do basic stuff myself. I can do more than my husband does and with a car.
I can I could do. I just don't.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah.
I don't even check my oil because I refuse to. I married a mechanic. I'm not checking my oil.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't either.
I pretend I don't know how. I know how. I can change my own tire. I know a lot of things. I just pretend I don't know how. Anyway, dress or PJs?
Oh, PJs. I hate dresses.
Invisibility or read minds?
Invisibility. There's some minds out there I know I do not want to be.
Yeah, I don't want to be in their minds.
My girl Homer being one of
Castle.
them.
I know what you're going to say to this already because of what you write. But castle or mansion?
Oh, castle.
I already put your answer in before you said it because I
Yeah,
already knew what you were going to
castle.
say. Sweet or spicy?
I like a little bit of both, honestly. I'm not a huge spice girl. I like a little, but I like them. Like if we're gonna have spice, it needs to get a little bit of
A little
both.
steam.
Yes.
A little steam. A little. Oh, thank you. A little bit, you know?
Just a little bit, yeah.
A little.
It's very salty.
She said, I'm going completely different direction because I can. It comes with the
Right?
name Tara.
Yes, I'm telling you, the two of you, scared. And I know you both personality wise, like you guys we'd never be able to
We
separate you guys. Best
join
friends.
forces. Watch out.
Yes.
You're all in trouble.
Big time.
So, now, to find the last Pendragon, I know it's in KU, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can get it on Amazon.
Yes.
By the way, your link on your website to get
Does
it
it
on
work?
Amazon. No, it works. But you need a universal link. Hit me up later. I will show you how to do that because you will get shadow banned by Amazon, your reviews, if they know that the reader got the link from you.
Ooh, I did not know that.
So, yes. So, I will
don't
tell you
hang
how
out
to
on my
make it.
website. This
I
was
will
the first
tell-
day I checked my website in forever.
I will tell you how to make it.
Yes, please.
It's very easy to do. Very, very, very easy to do. I will tell you exactly how you gotta do that for future too. So that Amazon doesn't know how to track how they got the link. They don't know it came from you. Yes, and it helps readers in other countries as well.
See, that's why I love you guys, because I don't know any of this.
Listen, we don't gatekeep the information around here.
I appreciate that.
But they can also get it on Etsy, right?
Yes, I have an Etsy shop, and you get all the sign. You get the character art. You get it wrapped and wax sealed and all the fun stuff when you go to Etsy.
And I bet you she hugs it too.
Of course, it gets love before it gets sent out.
Yes. And other retailers, right? Because
Yes, it is on
you
English
are not
Spark, so you
exclusive.
can order it online and all that places.
Yeah. Cool. Now, where else can they find you?
I'm everywhere. I'm on.
She's everywhere.
I'm here. I spend most of my time here, obviously, on the TikTok, but I am on the gram. I'm on the Book of Faces, all under Jeanette T. Queen. I do have a Blue Sky, but I'll be honest, I've been there like once. What is it? The other one, Threads. I'm there.
So the basic
Clapper, I'm
places.
there.
She's on the basic places. Look up her name.
Jeanette T. Queen. I'm there.
Find her.
Yes.
A Blue Sky is the X of the where I'm gonna stop there. It's the X alternative.
Yeah, it was because when this app was doing bye-byes, we all went other places. Like Tomb, I'm there. I have no idea how to do it though. Like I do not know what's going on there. But I'm there. You're just not gonna find anything from me probably.
But this will be on the UB of the tube.
Oh, I do have one of those now. I just started it and I started downloading my videos from here over there. So it's a slow process, but I do have that channel as well. Also under Jeanette T. Queen. So
See there, she's there too. So this will be on the UB of the tube. Because I have a TARTAtimeVodcast YouTube channel. Because I am doing a vodcast. But she will also be on my panel this weekend.
yes.
And that will come out in the next couple of weeks. And we are going to be talking more about fantasy fiction with a few more authors. So she'll be on there with Willow, Asteria, and Cass Lee, and Mona Storm. So
That'd be
all
fun.
kinds of fun. So thank you for joining me, Jeanette. I had a whole lot of fun.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. I was like, it's been forever since I've talked to you. So
I know. I haven't had anything coming out, so we haven't been.
You are welcome to come on my show just to hang out. You don't have to have anything coming out. It's all good.
Tara, I'll get you on my podcast, don't you, Barbara?
Yes.
Make you a co-host. Think I won't?
And make sure y'all tell me, because you know I will be there front row and center watching that.
I know, right?
My 2 favorite Taras in one spot. That's so scary.
I'm telling you, we take over the world. We'll solve this U.S. versus Canada crap. I'm Team Canada. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm still hoping Canada. I'm still hoping Canada annexes Michigan.
Terror power.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. I had so much fun.
It's been a blast. Thank you for having me.
And I love you all. And I love Jeanette. I'm giving her a hug.
Yes, hug back.
Mwah. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Smiles and maple syrup. I love you, Sarah.